Morning. On that point itself, actually people are getting cautious on emerging markets because of what the currency market is indicating. The fact that this isn't just investing in a market, but it's funding stress, where mostly the private sector now does need that kind of fund inflow. Most of it is in dollar-based funds, which is why markets like ours are struggling. Would you say there is a real fear that emerging markets like India may actually start underperforming again because of how much this contagion effect could hit us?
I personally do not agree with that logic. I mean, I know a few people have been trying to make that case. What caused what is important to understand here. I don't think a corollary of a currency weakness, just like a corollary of a currency strength was not an emerging market outperformance, which means that the emerging markets, I mean, India was down, even 3 months ago the dollar rupee was at 45, the Indian market was down 18% for the year. The currency may have appreciated, but did a rupee strength indicate market outperformance? The answer was a clear no. Empirical evidence told you that. So just because the rupee is unwound right now, does the corollary stand true, which is that the markets will now start underperforming again? I don't think so. I think ultimately there is a linkage between these factors, but we can't take away the fact that with the passage of time, we've spent the entire year, we're down 20% for the year, the currency is depreciated about 8-9%. And as we stand at this point in time, there are many things that are happening in the Indian market which indicate that valuations are definitely cheaper. I'm not here making out a case that you should go out and buy tomorrow morning. I think valuations are cheap. I think valuations are attractive. And a number of investors who've invested even over the last 3, 4, 5 months have not necessarily in the rupee context had to go home crying saying that we've lost a lot of money. No, I think a lot of stocks take a whole bunch of the consumer space, Jubilant, VIP, Titan, all these have hit either new highs or outperformed. A number of even the infrastructure space, which has been much talked about, much criticized, even time for time, take 3 months ago and I was on the same show. Take a whole bunch of those stocks, whether it's JP, the Reliance ADAG, PAC, Lanco, the whole bunch of those. I dare say, and I've not done the comparison, but I dare say the prices today are at the same levels, maybe in some cases slightly higher, maybe in some cases slightly lower, but not a whole lot different from what they were 3 months ago. So the rupee investor, I repeat, has not really had to go home, weeping that the world has collapsed around. But in the 3 months, the world has changed quite dramatically. And the impact of that has come through whether on currencies, and we are in a sense either a first order derivative or a second order derivative of moves that happen between the dollar and the euro, between the dollar and the Swiss franc. Pegs have been introduced now for pegging the Swiss franc movements again. Now these movements will affect companies' business plans. I think the fact of the matter is, take a simple thing. I mean, everyone's talking about why the exports have been up so dramatically, and they continue to be up despite the government, who should be a strong votary of exports, actually saying no, this export move can never actually sustain, it will come off. There are enough people out there who are out there saying that this is reverse hawala, that is money coming back into India. Now, I for one believe that exports are up because you go back to ground level, take engineered goods, take precision equipment, take textiles, take gems and jewelry. A lot of these are showing, and petrochemical products because of the the base impact on the petrochemical prices. A lot of these have actually grown, and exports will continue to grow because of two big factors that have arisen. One, there is a wage cost arbitrage between China and India. Chinese wages for the last 3 to 4 years are up between 100 and 150%. I repeat that, 100 to 150% compared to India, which is up between 40 and 50% over a 3-4 year period. Just this particular year, the Chinese government has actually allowed the yuan to appreciate. You're talking here about the yuan versus the rupee having appreciated 12% year to date. That means the Indian currency as we stand today has a 12% advantage for exporters compared to Chinese exporters year to date. You take a wage cost arbitrage, you take the wage cost advantage, and you take the currency advantage. This is a serious advantage for Indian exporters. So there are some areas that will for sure benefit by this. And I think it's important to say that the markets at the end of the day are showing strength at the 5,000 give or take 2-3% levels because valuations are attractive. Same time as I said 3 months ago, for one reason or the other, the technology sector has moved up quite sharply. I think the problem really is because we're looking at the index, we're forgetting that most Indian investors don't invest in the index. I mean, nobody goes out and buys the index as a proxy for investment. They go make investments in specific stocks. which I think are doing fairly okay. Yes, we can't make out a bull case that the Indian markets will dramatically move up and outperform with the kind of headwinds that exist internationally, with the kind of pressures. I mean, you're talking about a $11 billion Goldman Alpha fund shutting down. Came off from 11 to maybe 2 or 3 billion, and even that's now shutting down. Large pools of capital internationally are drying up. I think the big takeaway is that we will not see large flows into the Indian markets in a hurry. But it is the rupee investor or the retail investor who needs to now figure out that with the passage of time and with the passage of, let's say, the corporate restructuring, valuations are much better than they were. So you may have a long time to wait, and I still maintain price damage may be restricted. Time-wise, we may still have to wait. But from a foreign investor's perspective, he is, I mean, the same Indian sitting out of Singapore managing India funds denominated in US dollars, I think is hurting big time. The same person sitting, in Nariman Point may say, fine, it's bad, but I'm not really particularly badly hurt. Portfolios aren't necessarily bleeding the way you'd expect in a bear market. So all I'm saying here is it's not that a bull market is around the corner, but I definitely believe that price damage may be restricted across the board.